Can I be your personal mentor or career coach? If you play your cards right, I'll do it. I always tell people, if they can, to find a mentor that's 1 to 2 steps ahead. The problem, however, is that the level distribution for most career types is like a pyramid, a really flat pyramid, especially as you become more senior. Since I started this channel, my Twitter, LinkedIn, and Slack have been filled with people asking me to be their mentor. It's been a bit overwhelming and also a bit flattering. If I had all the time in the world, I would be everybody's mentor, but I don't. Instead, I thought it would be a good idea to create videos where I mentor people on the channel, and you can be in the proverbial room as I help others. If that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned for the details on how to apply. But for those that I don't get to mentor personally, in this video, I'll give you tips on how to effectively find a mentor. Welcome to A Life Engineered, where we take an engineering approach to your career. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Steve Huynh, Meta, that dude from Amazon, or your successful cousin Steve that your parents always compare you to, and I'm an L7 principal engineer. On this channel, I give you all of the ideas, information, and advice I wish I had when I was coming up, all for free. I'd like nothing more than to spend my time making content and putting it out into the world, and if you'd like to support me on this endeavor to keep sponsors away from this channel, take a look at my Patreon. Let's start with what even is mentoring. People conflate sponsorship, coaching, and mentorship, and it drives me a little crazy. So let's first align on terminology. Sponsors or advocates use their position of authority or influence to create opportunities that advance someone's career. Coaching is when you engage with someone and they conduct an evaluation of where you're at and make suggestions on what you should do next. A mentorship relationship is one where mentees or proteges come to their mentor with specific items that they need help with. A sponsor might say, "I pulled some strings and got you into training that's usually only available for managers." In this case, they're using their authority or influence to create opportunities for you. A coach might say, "After talking with you, I think you need to prioritize the development of your communication skills." They've taken time to do an evaluation of where you're at and have suggested a specific course of action tailored to you. A mentor might say, "You've said that you'd like to focus on being a better communicator. I was in a similar position earlier in my career, and this writing course really helped me. I think it might help you too." With mentors, you come with things you want to work on, and they advise you on that thing. If the engagement lasts for some amount of time, it may turn into coaching because they might notice some things that you aren't taking into account. But generally, with mentorship, you provide the source material and the starting point. "Steve, I can't get promoted because I'm falling through the cracks of the process. Can you do something about it?" You're looking for a sponsor or advocate. "Steve, I can't get promoted and I don't know why." You're looking for a coach. "Steve, I can't get promoted. I need to work on becoming an effective team leader." You are looking for a mentor. The reason this distinction is important is because being a coach is a much more involved process than mentorship. If you're reaching out to people and asking them for their time and energy to work with you, it's much better to indicate that you aren't asking them to do a deep dive analysis on your life and career, but rather that your request is bounded and that you have some self-awareness of the situation that you're in. Okay, so what are the types of things that you should bring to a prospective mentor? These fall into 3 categories: goal setting, behavior change, and skills. With goal setting, you're trying to figure out what you want. Should I become a manager or a high-level tech IC? Should I work for a mega corporation or a startup? Should I focus on being a back-end engineer, a front-end engineer, or a generalist? With behaviors, you're trying to figure out how to deal with difficult and challenging situations. How should I deal with a difficult coworker or manager? How do I know when to pipe up during a meeting? I've got a big deadline looming, and I'm not getting the support I need from others. What should I do? With skills, people are looking for advice on how to get better. How do I become a better coder? How do I get better at system design? How do I get better at writing? I need help prioritizing and managing my time. If you think you need a mentor, but you don't need help with goals, behaviors, or skills, probably need a coach or a sponsor. When you approach a mentor, make sure that you have a good idea of what you want to work on. This always involves some amount of self-reflection and the difficult work of being honest about your shortcomings. When you work with a mentor, it can be emotionally challenging. You have to spend all this time thinking about where you need to grow, and you have to deal with all these emotions like regret, inadequacy, and shame. You need the ability to be emotionally vulnerable to a mentor in order to get the most out of it, because you need a mentor to be invested in you and to be brutally honest. If they're an effective mentor or coach, they will present you with hard truths that might hit you right in the feels. Their challenge is to deliver radical candor to you in an unharmful way, which they might be terrible at, and your job is to receive this feedback when it's all too easy to throw up your shields and get defensive. Receiving critical feedback is itself a skill, so make sure you're in a position to receive it before you start your search for a mentor or coach. Don't go asking for something that you're going to ignore or deny. Okay, so you need a mentor and you've identified what you want to work on. How do you actually find someone? You need a mentor that is 1 to 2 steps ahead of you and can help you with the areas that you need to grow. But the thing is, levels in software engineering look like a really flat pyramid, especially as you get higher and higher in level. You need to increase your chances of finding someone, so don't waste too much time courting someone that's too far ahead of you. Not only are there fewer people that are 3 steps ahead of you or more, they're likely really busy and get a ton of requests. Moreover, you should think of your career growth as a gradual progression, not as steps that you can skip. You should focus on the next level, not on how you can skip levels. If you're a junior engineer, you need to focus on things that will get you to meteor, not fast forward to things that will get you to senior engineer. Going after someone that's too high of a level is an example of premature optimization. A distinguished engineer is overqualified, and it's a bit disrespectful even to send a message to them. You need the right mentor at the right time in your life. So I highly recommend trying to find mentors that are just a bit ahead of you, which may even mean that you're the same level at work. A good pitch consists of 2 things. 1, like we've gone over, a specific set of things that you need help with, and the recognition that the person can help you grow in this dimension. This indicates that you have some amount of self-awareness, and it gives you an opportunity to flatter them. Demonstrating that you've done a lot of the difficult self-reflective work will go a long way. 2, limiting the formality. You can call it a chat, coffee, or a one-on-one. Remember, the essential quality of mentorship is that you're seeking feedback and advice on an area you need to grow. There's no international mentorship registry. It's really just the amount of cringe a mentor has when you say, so-and-so is my mentor. I've been really surprised when folks have declared that I've been their mentor all along, and I thought we were just talking regularly. Looking back on it, I was acting in a mentorship capacity, I just didn't realize that's what we were calling it. If you want a more formal relationship, I'd recommend easing into it if you don't know the person too well. Asking for an hour a week is an incredibly big request. Buying them coffee every once in a while makes it really easy to say yes, especially if you were going to go on a coffee break anyhow. And finally, to be a good person, you need to demonstrate gratitude for the gifts they are going to give you. If the person is on your team or in an adjacent team, take an on-call shift for them. There's an internal kudos or recognition platform. You can celebrate the fact that they went out of their way to help you. At the very least, you can send a note to their manager to sing their praises. If your growth comes at the expense of others and you only take, people will be less likely to help. If mentorship, coaching, and sponsorship are mutually beneficial to all parties involved, not only do you get to experience positive growth, the world becomes a better place. Okay, so let's talk about how I can be your coach or mentor. Here are my requirements. 1, you are currently a software engineer or in a related field, and you're at or below my current level. I think my advice can help folks that aren't software engineers grow too, but I think it's most effective with software engineers. 2, you've done some amount of self-reflection on what you'd like to get out of an interaction with me. Doesn't have to be a pure mentorship relationship. I can potentially coach you as well, but I'd really like to make sure I can actually help you. 3, since mentorship and coaching is a long-term endeavor, you have to agree to check in with me on an ongoing basis to see how things are going. I might want to fly you to Seattle to meet in person or fly out to meet you, so you need to be available. If you ghost me after some time, that's bad for you, me, and my audience. 4, you're interesting and engaging. You need to be an awesome person, and it needs to show through on camera. I'm asking potential mentees to create a YouTube video as part of the application. If this sounds like you, please fill out the form linked in the description. I'll sift through my applications and let my viewership decide on who I should mentor on YouTube. No, you are not clever if you just message me directly. I created this whole process. That doesn't make you special. That just means you don't follow directions well. If you found this video interesting, this is just half of it. You have to watch my video on how to be an effective mentor. If you have a question, leave it in the comment section below and I'll answer it in my next office hours video. Thanks for watching and hope to see you next time.